In the Treasury bond market for the month of August, the Central Bank of Kenya, acting as fiscal agent for the Republic of Kenya, is looking to raise 50 billion shillings for budgetary support and has invited bids for the following three bonds whose terms and conditions are as follows. The first is FXD1/2022/03 with 2.7 years left to maturity and a coupon at 11.76%. The second bond is FXD2/2019/10 with 6.7 years left to maturity and a coupon at 12.3%. The third bond is FXD1/2021/20 with 19.1 years left to maturity and a coupon at 13.44%. The Treasury bonds are now open for sale until tomorrow, that is the 16th of August, and the auction will be held on Wednesday, the 17th of August, and results will be communicated and published on Thursday, the 18th of August. Moving over to the equity markets, during the week, the equities market was on an upward trajectory with the NASI, the NSE 20, and the NSE 25 gaining by 3.4%, 4.2%, and 3.6% respectively. However, their year-to-date performance remains in the red with losses of 12.1% for the NASI, 6% for the NSE 20, and 9% for the NSE 25. The market performance was driven up mainly by gains recorded in large cap stocks such as Cooperative Bank that was up 7.6%, Absa Bank increased by 5.3%, Equity Group rose by 4.7%, and Diamond Trust Bank inched up by 3.6%. The turnover in the equities market declined by 33% to US dollars 9.1 million from $13.6 million recorded the previous week. Additionally, foreign investors remained net sellers with a net selling position of $4.1 million from a net selling position of $4.3 million recorded the previous week, taking the year-to-date net selling position by foreign investors to $139.4 million. On Kenya's national debt, according to the Central Bank of Kenya, total government debt as at May 2022 stood at 8.56 trillion shillings, and this was equally divided between domestic debt at 4.27 trillion shillings and foreign external debt at $36.71 billion, which is equivalent to 4.29 trillion shillings. On the subject of debt, for a detailed analysis of Kenya's national debt, we would like to refer you to a special episode of the Market Color podcast that was published on the 4th of August. The podcast is entitled Kenya's National Debt and is available on all the major directories, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Stitcher. Please be sure to subscribe and turn on alerts to be notified of new episodes. The topical issue this week is on the challenges awaiting the incoming president. As we continue to await the official results of Kenya's presidential elections, it is prudent to note that the winner of the elections will have some very difficult economic and political challenges to resolve. The country is struggling with inflation, which is driven up mainly by rising food and fuel prices. This has deepened the economic problems triggered initially by the coronavirus pandemic and more recently by the ongoing war in Ukraine. The election winner will have to juggle with issues such as the drought, massive youth unemployment, and stagnant wages for those in employment. In addition to that, there is also the issue of the unsustainable subsidies for maize flour and fuel, which are expected to end shortly now that the elections are over. The cost of fuel is likely to be exacerbated by a weakening shilling, whose real exchange rate remains debatable as companies such as Pwani Oil shut down operations due to a shortage of US dollars in the market. The country is also grappling with a soaring national debt, which is a result of a borrowing binge driven by exorbitant infrastructure projects. As per the 2022-2023 budget, the country is projected to spend more than half of its tax revenues on debt repayment. That works out to about 1.39 trillion shillings in debt repayments. To understand the magnitude of 1.39 trillion shillings, that works out to about 3.9 billion shillings per day in debt repayments. In my view, the national debt will be the biggest challenge for the incoming president as it reduces our ability to allocate funds to development, which is the only sustainable way to create jobs and grow the economy. That's my 2 cents for this week. And on that note, we come to the end of this week's podcast. Thank you for listening to the Market Color podcast. We hope that you found it to be useful and informative. And if so, please share it with a friend and help to spread the word around. We really do appreciate your assistance in this effort. And if you have any ideas or feedback on how we can improve this podcast, please feel free to reach me on the following email address. That's jamuhuri@gmail.com. Jamhuri spelled Jamuhuri. Once again, thank you for listening to the Market Color podcast. I look forward to interacting with you again next week. And as I sign off, I want to share with you a quote by Henry David Thoreau that states, "If one advances confidently in the direction of their dreams and endeavors to live the life which they have imagined, they will meet with a success unexpected in common hours." And until next week, have a fantastic week ahead, and God bless you.